So now that my primer has had about 10 minutes to just absorb and dead battery. I just started. Be right back. My primer is on, it is absorbed and done its thing. Since this is my foundation routine, I'm not gonna do my eyes first. I'm just gonna really focus on my foundation. So the foundation that I'm gonna use today to show you this routine is the Cover FX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. That's this foundation right here. And I'm in the color in 10 because I'm neutral. How do you know what you are? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. The easiest way that I have found to tell what you are as far as warm, cool, or neutral is to look at your veins in your wrist area right here. If your veins are greenish tinted, it's because you have a yellow undertone. Oh my God. If your veins look green to you, that means you are warm. You have a yellow undertone, okay? Warm, yellow, green. Got it? Okay. If they are blue, that means you have a pinky undertone, which means you are cool toned. Pink undertone as opposed to yellow. So pink, cool, blue. Pink, cool, blue. Yeah. If you look at your veins like I do, and they're kind of blue in some places, green in some places, you can't really tell blue, green. I have like one big green vein running through there. I have a blue one. That means you're neutral, which is in, and that is the easiest way that I have found to tell which spectrum you go on. So that is why I am in 10 for neutral 10, because I am neutral. W is usually for warm, obviously. C is usually for cool. So maybe keep that in mind. I think that is pretty much the easiest way that I have found to explain how to tell really like what you are and which one you should go with. Also, keep in mind there are no rules in makeup. I don't know how many times I have told this to teenagers, because everybody just wants there to be rules for everything, and that is the best part about makeup. That is what I love so much about makeup. My OCD tendencies just want everything to fit in a nice neat box, and it is just so fun for me to just kind of let loose and play and do whatever the heck I want to do. So there are no rules in makeup, and most places where you get makeup from have a very lenient return policy. So feel free to get a foundation, play with it for a couple days. I mean, obviously don't go crazy and try to return it 6 months later, because chances are they're not gonna let you. But play with it for a few days, see how you like it, see how it looks on you. If it comes off too yellow, then try a cooler tone. If that comes off too pinky, try a neutral tone. And just like play around. It could be the foundation, it could be the formula, and just find what you like the best. Just make sure you hold on to that receipt, because a lot of times they make that, like I tried to take that new NARS weightless coverage, I don't know, it was like the beginning of the summer and like everybody and their mom had it, and I tried it and my skin is just too dry. It was just patchy all over the place. And I tried to take it back to Sephora, and because I didn't have my receipt, they would not even let me exchange it. So I was pretty annoyed with that, because I think it should be a little bit easier to exchange, because I wasn't trying to get my money back. I was just trying to exchange it for something different. But and who knows, maybe that was just that particular sales rep was having a bad day. I don't know. I just don't know. So I advise everybody to just play and see what you like. And in all honesty, it's not about what somebody else thinks. It's about what you think, what makes you look the most beautiful. So when you find something that you like, you do what you got to do to feel your very best. You know, ask your boyfriend or your husband, your girlfriend, whatever, like, figure out what you like and go for it. Also, you don't have to stick with just one. Let me tell you how many foundations I have. Oh my goodness. This is not even all of them. I don't think this is everything. It's close enough though. Keep in mind, my skin type, okay, I am very dry, very, very, very dry. So what looks good on me is not gonna look good on someone who is oily. And also I have mature skin because, as my family likes to point out, I am getting up there now that I'm pushing 40. My skin just doesn't look the same as someone in their early 20s or teens. I just don't have the bounce that I used to. I'm getting sunk in places, I'm getting wrinkles. I have to find foundations that aren't gonna settle in all of these, I used to be able to say fine lines, some of them aren't so fine anymore. What is going to look good on me as kind of an early mature skin, dry skin type, okay, is not gonna look as the same as someone who is young with oily skin, which is why I say you really should go on a hunt and try out. Don't just go with the first thing that you think looks nice on you, because you could find something that you like better. If you find something that you like, you don't necessarily need to return that one. Hold on to that one, and the next time you're at Sephora or the next time you're at Mac or a drugstore, pick up something else. See how you like that. If you don't like it, exchange it for something else, and just kind of always be on the lookout for new, different, fun toys. It's like going into a candy store for me. Maybe not for you, and I have a hard time remembering that not everybody loves makeup as much as I do. Some of the things that I have found that I really like. So I like to cover it all up. I want a complete, even, sort of porcelain flawless coverage. You might not need that. So, or want that for that matter. So the ones that I love the most are gonna be a lot more on the full coverage. So this one is a pretty medium coverage, but I think it starts off a little bit lighter and a little more sheer. And I'll give you some tips on how to sheer it out if you find one that you like and it's just too full. I'll show you how you can sheer that out a little bit. So this is one that I like, the Bourjois Paris Healthy Mix Serum. I really do like that one. I also don't like a matte finish. I prefer a little bit of a glow, you know? This is the L'Oreal Paris True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. This is in warm because either they didn't offer a cool tone or I bought this really, really long ago. I don't know. I really don't know. It lasts forever. It's not the end of the world. If they don't have your exact shade, there's always a way to fix that. No big deal. This is the True Match Lumi. Oh, I forgot that I changed. That's what that looks like. I really like this one. This is a medium to full coverage. It's also buildable. And this has a very luminous, glowy. So if you're oily, you probably won't like that. They do have another True Match. It's in a jar that with like a screw top. It's smaller than this one. And that one I would recommend if you like the True Match. Try that one if you want more of a matte finish for oily skin. I make sure that I have sunscreen on my face, and you need to do that too. At my age, I can tell you that not wearing sunscreen on your face every single day when you are leaving the house, when you're not leaving the house, it doesn't matter. Not wearing sunscreen on your face is about the dumbest thing that I have literally ever done in my life. It speeds aging, it causes skin cancer issues. I just cannot even tell you how stupid it was. Like, back in the day, before we realized that it was a problem, and my dumb butt would lay out in the sun with amplifier on. Are you kidding me? Now, of course, many surgeries and skin cancer later, I cannot even tell you, like, don't do it. Wear sunscreen. Your face, leave it butt white. If you're covering up with foundation, you don't need to tan your face anyways. I would say, like, do whatever you want to the rest of your body, but quite honestly, the mother in me is telling you, wear sunscreen. It isn't worth it. I promise you, it is. One day you'll hear my story, you'll know it is not worth it. Wear sunscreen. Okay, so I really do like foundations that have it built in, because why not? You know, the more sunscreen, the better. Can't have too much sunscreen. This is the, this is what this looks like. This is the color Ivory 115. That's my color because I am butt white, or pretty close to it. Most of the time, honestly, I really don't care if I wear makeup or not. I kind of feel like you should be comfortable with yourself before you start slapping on all that makeup and having fun. My view on makeup is that it should just kind of enhance your natural beauty, and that you should really be comfortable with yourself before you try changing. Just my opinion, don't kill me. There is nothing that's not beautiful about you. I really feel like you should try to be as comfortable in your own skin as possible before you start trying to figure out this stuff, because it just makes it a little bit easier. So, and if you are in a relationship that is not making you feel comfortable and absolutely beautiful, then it's the relationship, it's not you. So if he or she is not appreciating you for every single perfect, awesome thing that you are, see ya. Like, seriously, there is someone out there better for you. Everybody's got that one, and he or she is not it. Sorry. They need to truly appreciate you for the awesome that you are. And if they aren't appreciating you, then they do not deserve you. And there is someone out there that will treat you exactly how you deserve to be treated every single day. Enough of my little soapbox thing. The foundation that I am going to wear today is the Cover FX foundation. I've really been enjoying this one. This foundation is thick. If you are looking for a flawless full coverage foundation and you have dry skin, now this is oil free, so this might actually work for a pretty broad range. So what I like to do, because this is so thick and my skin is so dry, especially right now in the winter, I like to mix it with a beauty oil. I don't always do this. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I mix foundations. Like, I'll mix this one with this one, and I'll kind of do like a 50-50 matchup. It just kind of gives me a different, and this like opens it up to a whole nother world of foundations, because like if you like this for one thing and you like this for something different, you just put them together and you have like both. Hello. How perfect is that? Because I am high maintenance like that. Today I'm just going to use the Cover FX. I really like this, and I'm going to be mixing it with Miracle Beauty Oil and Serum by the Blissful Body. I got this. This is like a little sample bottle. I bought this off of Etsy because this little teeny bottle will last me like forever, because what I do, I use this little, it's like a soap dish that I got at Home Goods, and it's marble, so I can toss it in the dishwasher, run it through the dishwasher, and clean it and sanitize it really well in between uses. So I just, rather than using the back of my hand like I know a lot of makeup artists do, I just like to kind of put a little bit right on my dish, like that. Then I shake up my oil, and very carefully I'm gonna do this because I don't want to spill my oil because I'm not holding on to it. Just so I can show you what I'm doing. I am literally putting 1 drop of oil in my foundation. 1 drop. Now, the reason that I do this is not just to help thin out this particular foundation a little bit, but this beauty oil and serum has, I want to say, 20 different essential oils in it, like argan oil and a whole bunch of different oils that, because I'm putting it in my foundation, will sit right on my skin all day long, and just, it really helps with a lot of wrinkling. I mean, for my age, I know people my age typically are a lot more advanced along in their maturing process. I have very few lines and wrinkles, and the more that I do this, the less I see, because these oils go in and plump up your skin, and they have a lot of nutritional benefits that you're not gonna get. I mean, even if you're using the CC cream, you could still do the same technique with this, and it's just gonna give you just that kind of boost in your anti-aging skin routine. I would recommend this to anybody of any age, because you can never be too young to really start taking care of your skin. And then I'm just swirling that up, just mixing it up, and then I'm just going to just like dab this on. Now, when I'm not using the oil, I would use a damp beauty blender. Now, this is not a beauty blender, this is the Real Techniques sponge, which I prefer this because it's so much cheaper and I like it better than the actual beauty blender. But this is dry, which is why it's so small right now. But wet, if you used a wet sponge on an oil infused foundation, the oil and the water are gonna separate, and that is just a hot mess, and like seriously, nobody can pull that look off. So when I use a beauty oil in my foundation, I go in with my kabuki brush. This is the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki, and this is the other way that I like to put on my foundation. I know Morphe has a brush. I'll link that down below. I want to say it was the 429, the M429. I don't know, whatever. That's another one I've heard works really well. I haven't bought any because I already had this Sigma when Morphe started getting bigger. It's like, you know, I use these two. And I'm just stippling it in. I'm just like pressing this into my skin. You don't want to drag really, because that's just gonna that's gonna leave lines behind. And that's just not cute either. This foundation is great, buildable. So you can start with a medium coverage and then you just build it up as thick as you want it. I have 4 animals and a teenager, so it's like a zoo up in here. And then I have the 4 animals. And you can just take a little more and add it to whatever area you might need a little bit more coverage. You don't have to go in, like if you need 3 layers, for example, like right here, you don't have to put 3 layers all over your whole face. I just kind of like to keep going over it while it's setting so that it's not given a chance to settle before it dries. Now for concealer. This Maybelline Instant Age Rewind eraser for dark circles is really great stuff. I like to mix it with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. When you're getting concealer for your face, you want to get a couple of different things. You want one that's going to match your skin tone perfectly. And when you're matching the color of your foundation, you want to match it to your neck, not to your face. Because when you have it on, it's not going to be compared to the color of your face. It's going to be seen next to the color of your neck. So you want this to be cohesive so that you don't have like this butt white face and like a nice tan neck. Not that you should be getting sun, but that is your business. So if you have a darker neck, you need to match it to this. So when you are buying foundation, you want to just kind of put it here, like let it dry and see how well it matches and blends. Now I know another thing like I like to do is drag it down just a little bit. That way, if it's not perfect, you won't see it. There won't be kind of this line of demarcation. Some people, their colors are so different and you see this line on their neck. If you sort of like go up like to here on your ears and then bring it down in here just a little bit, it will blend more with your neck color and make it look more cohesive, like it all matches. So that's how you pick the foundation color. When you're doing your concealer, you want a color that matches your foundation. And this is gonna be for things like, breakouts or age spots you're trying to cover and you want that to blend in with the rest of your face. Then you want a color that is 2 shades lighter. This is going to go into your lighter areas of your face so that you don't look like you have this one-dimensional face. You want there to be different planes of your face that give it more shape and definition, and this will make your face look slimmer and just prettier overall. It just helps with the flawless coverage of your skin. So, and then that is how I do it. I get one color, this color of my foundation, and then I get another one that is 2 shades lighter. Oh my gosh, 2 shades lighter. That's how I do it. Okay, so this is what I go in under my eyes. I don't really have anywhere that I'm gonna be putting just neutralizing concealer on today, luckily. So I'm just gonna go in to my under eye highlighting, and I'm gonna start off with my Maybelline concealer brightener. What's it? I really like this stuff. Like, this stuff is a great dupe for the NARS concealer and so much cheaper. I just go down the side of my nose because that kind of covers up this area here that can be red from hormones. I go under my eye and then back down. So it's like a triangle, really. And then I like, that is kind of a pinky brightener color. And then I like to go in with a little bit of this as well. And I'm just going hard with the concealer today. Why not? I'm just pressing this in. You can use a stippling brush for this, or you can use a damp beauty blender or beauty sponge. And again, I also kind of bring this up onto my eyelids. I just like to make everything one color because I have just darker patches. Like on the inner corners of my eyes, and this is just the best way to cover everything and just make it all like one color. Then I'll take this eraser dark circles Maybelline What's It, and I just like, I put some right in the center of my forehead. I drag it down the center of my nose, down my cupid's bow right there, and my chin. Now, if you have anything in this area that you don't want highlighted, I probably wouldn't. Like if your chin is bigger and you like it to not, the lighter is gonna make it stand out. If you don't want your chin to stand out, then don't put this on your chin. Just go down and stop at your cupid's bow. Then I also like to put some here and here. Now, the older you get, the more important it is and the faster you need to set all of this. So I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And this is the Sigma Tapered Highlighter, the F35. I know Morphe has one like exactly like this for way cheaper. I will link that below for you. Okay, and then before you do this, you need to make sure that you tap this out and that it's not settling in anything, because once you set this, it stays. So make sure you go through one more time under your eyes and really tap that out. And then just, you want to take a bit of this stuff, like get it really packed on there. And then we're just gonna really pack it on. This is a newer technique known as baking, when you just really pack it on there. This has been a godsend, this technique, for older women. It sets this foundation and concealer so that it doesn't move and crease and get all gross. Under your eyes is the most important part to set first. which is why I like to just go ahead and do that. Once that's done, I can go through and set everything else. Now with my brightening powder, that's the only place that I typically, like bake. And so that is like pretty much when you cake on that powder and then let it sit for about 10 minutes. Everywhere else, I'm not as concerned because I'm not gonna wrinkle that bad, except maybe my forehead. So I'll go in and I'll put the second most amount, like right where these creases are from the different faces that I make. And it's also important that you don't drag. You want to just like really tap, because when you're pulling the brush, whether you realize it or not, you are dragging product with it, and you don't want to do that. You just want to set it. So I'm gonna go down this line here. This just kind of helps carve out that cheekbone area. I want to set my chin, my Cupid's bow, and down my nose. Seriously snowing in this room. While that's setting, I'm gonna go ahead in and prime and set my eyelids. So I'm just going to be making sure there's no lines on my eyelids, and then I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm just gonna put this. I just use, whatever concealer it is I'm using. I like this way just because it helps really cover up any discoloration or veiny issues I have going on my eyelids. Like, cover up as much as possible. I really like the kabuki. The kabuki, and the reason you would use the kabuki brush or the sponge as opposed to your fingers is because this really just gets in there and gets up any extra product that could be built up, so it doesn't get cakey. And then also the finish of it with this brush is just so much nicer and more realistic. Then to set my eyelids, I'm going to be using just transparent, any transparent, translucent powder is fine. Just something, you just want something clear, and just go in and set that right away so that it doesn't have time to crease. I'm just gonna go in with just a great big old fluffy brush. This is from BH Cosmetics, and BH Cosmetics doesn't actually put in their kits, they don't put the numbers on the handles to make it easier to tell you what this is, but I'll list the kit name down below so that you know what I got. But I just love how soft these are. So I'm just gonna go through and I'm just gonna like brush all this extra powder off my face. And then I'm just gonna go in to my whole face with translucent powder. Gonna knock off excess because we just don't need that much powder. And I'm just gonna go in and just set my whole face with this, just really focusing on the places that we didn't hit with the secret brightening powder. Just dabbing so that you're not moving any foundation. Make sure you're getting the sides of your forehead and your cheek area. And then once everything is set, then it's not as important to dab. You can pull just a little bit, as long as you didn't forget anything. So now your base is covered with a powder. So anything that you put on top of that base, since it's gonna be a powder also, I feel like I have it all in my hair, is going to set and apply so much nicer, because powder goes better on powder than it does onto cream. And since our foundation was a cream, putting any powder on top of that powder, that transparent powder, is just gonna help it just go on so much nicer. So that was my foundation routine. I hope that you found it helpful. If I didn't answer one of your questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments section below and I'll get right back to you. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, so that you can follow me through my future videos. I am on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all DIY Annimal with 2 N's. I hope you liked my video and I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.